Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Know About Embedded Systems. In today's video, we're going to understand how to develop an embedded C program for STM32 and its timers, or timer programming for your STM32 microcontroller. So let us start the video, but before starting the video, if you're new here to my channel, kindly subscribe my YouTube channel, click on bell icon and share this videos to your friends and colleagues. Let us start the video, timer programming in STM32 microcontroller. So guys, timer, you know that what is a timer already. So timer stands for, the timer is used to measure the timing of an event. Our timer is used to generate a delay, and also timer is used to generate the interrupts as well. So timer plays a very important role in our embedded system. So regarding the timer, I have separate video. You please watch that video. I'll update description box. So now in case of STM32 microcontroller, this is a simplified block diagram of your STM32 microcontroller timer block. So in the timer, important parts are like this. The first of all, you should know the prescaler value. The prescaler value is used to divide the peripheral clock. So, and then we have second one is the auto ARR. ARR stands for auto reload register. This is used to reload the value of time delay. And then we have timer counter, TIM count. You can see here, TIM count stands for, it's a timer counter. And then we have to check the status. So timer TIM count is nothing but it's a main timer counter. This is going to count the clock pulses which are going to be supplied. Okay, so every time your timer block will compare your ARR value with your timer counter value. So that means timer counter, it acts as just an up counter like this. It will just go on counting the value. So this timer counter is nothing but it's an up counter. It's an up counter, and every time it is going to compare with the ARR value. So whenever both are equal, you can see here, this point you see here, whenever timer counter is equal to ARR. So for example, in this case, we're using 50,000. Whenever timer counter reaches with a 50,000 value, then the compare condition will exist, or you can say overflow condition will exist, and it's going to update the interrupt flag in the timer status register point. So there is a simple calculation here. We want to do, the timers are used to generate the delay. So how much delay you want, you can generate that much delay using your timer block. So in order to generate the delay, there is a small calculation that we have to understand. The first thing is, you should know the timer clock value. Timer clock is equal to peripheral clock divided by PAC. So this is the simplified equation here. Peripheral clock value is given here, it is 16 megahertz. Substitute here, and your peripheral PAC is nothing but your prescaler value, this blue color block, whatever you are seeing. So this blue color block you need to load as 1600. That means 16 megahertz divided by 1600. When you do that, when you calculate, your timer clock is going to get 10 kilohertz. That means 10 kilohertz clock will be supplied to your timer block. So this is the first step to find out the timer clock. And in the second step, we have to calculate timer delay. How much timer is able to generate the delay with the different ARR value. So now timer delay is equal to, the second equation we have, timer delay is equal to ARR divided by timer clock value. So ARR is nothing but auto reload value. So how much delay you want, you can calculate according to your requirement. You can set this ARR value. Okay, so for example, I'm considering this ARR value as 50,000 here, and divide your timer clock value 50,000 divided by 10 kilohertz. When you do, timer delay is going to generate a 5 seconds. So like this, very simple, two different formulas, using two different formulas, we're able to generate delay how much you want. Example, here I'm considering 5 second delay. For 5 second delay, I have to load ARR value as 50,000 and a prescaler value as 1600. These two things we have to substitute in the registers. So this is a simplified calculation in the timer block. And then before going to the program, we have to understand what are the registers we're going to use. We're going to use around 5 to 6 different registers. You can see one is APB ENR. This is used to enable the clock to the timer. Okay, this is used to enable the clock to the timer. and then the second one is a prescaler register. The prescaler value, whatever we have told, that much we have to load, that is 1600. Then auto reload value, nothing but your 50,000, that we have to load, and that CNT is nothing but up counter. It is timer counter is up counter. Then there is a control register, and then we have status register. So 1 2 3, totally 6 different registers we have to configure in order to develop the program for your timer. So I hope you are clear with the registers. Now I'll go back to the software here. So this is your basic setup I have already done. Now what I'm going to do, I will start developing the code for your timers. So in order to develop the code, so one by one we will understand. I have written the comment here. You can see I need to enable the clock to the timer. So if you want to enable the clock to the timer, what we have to use? We have to use register. So RCC APB1 ENR. So we have to take it this one. APB1 ENR. So what do you mean by this APB1 ENR? This is basically a register where our timer is connected. So just I'm going to enable. Yeah, you can see here, this is the register what I'm going to use right now. The register name called as RCC APB1. Okay, RCC APB1. Here different peripherals they have defined. The clock enable for different peripherals we have they have defined here. USART is there, timers are there, watchdog timers are there, like that. There are different things are there. So now today what I'm going to concentrate, I'm going to concentrate on TIM2. TIM2 is your timer 2. Okay, now I'll come back here. I'll create one macro for timer. The clock enable, yeah, here I will create hash define. So TIM2 clock underscore enable. Bit 0 I had to use. So this is my first point. I'm going to enable TIM2 clock enable. Okay. Here I'm going to enable. So first step is done. We have enabled the clock to the timer block. Okay. Next one, I need to load the PSC value. I have already explained what is the role of PSC. PSC stands for prescaler register. I'm going to use TIM2. So timer 2 I'm going to use here, and then PSC is equal to 1600. You can load. Then you need to load your auto reload value. Auto reload is equal to, you can just load 50,000 here in order to generate 5 seconds. Okay, load for 5 second delay. I'm going to generate a 5 second delay. That's why I'm going to use here 50,000. The next, after that, I have to clear the timer value. So I'm going to use TIM2 CNT. Just you can clear it by putting the 0. Then I need to enable the timer. If you want to enable the timer register, so TIM CR1. So this register is used to configure the different things. You can see here, counter enable. So that's why TIM2 CR1 is equal to counter enable. So this much programming or your timer configuration as a first part. So what we did here, we enabled the clock to the timer and then loaded with a prescaler value, loaded with a reload value, clear the counter and enable the timer counter. Okay, so like that we are done. I'll use like this TIM enable. Instead of counter enable, I'll use TIM enable. TIM stands for timer. Okay, so now first step is done. We have done with the configuration of your timer. So here you can see I'm just calling the timer to configuration. So once it is done, your timer will start counting. That means once if you enable, especially, okay, this statement is there, no? Once if you enable here, your timers will start counting. So that means it will start working. So now we have to check whether there is a overflow or not. Here you can see check the counter overflow. So line number 37 I written one comment here. What it is saying, check whether your counter is overflow or not. So what do you mean by overflow? Overflow means you need to go back to the block diagram here. You can see I'm checking here this one. Check whether your timer counter is equal to auto reload value or not, because timer will start counting up and you have to check every time whether it's equal or not. So whenever it is equal, so from that point it will start overflow and it will update the interrupt flag. So this we have to check, so whether the flag is updated or not. Now in order to do that, so I have to use again TIM2. There is a register called as a SR. Under this I need to check with a bit 1. I have to check with bit number 0, timer overflow. I'll go back to this. Okay, so bit says UIF. UIF stands for interrupt flag. Okay, update interrupt flag. UIF stands for. Okay. So I'll go back to here, and so these are all my timer. I'm going to use TIM interrupt flag here. This is the bit I need to check. Okay, so this I'll keep it in a while of 1. So while check. Okay, so now what I'm doing here, I'm in a status register, I'm checking whether there is a overflow occurred or not. Okay, if there is a overflow, we have to clear it. How do we clear? So we have to manually clear this. If you want to clear, so we have to use this method. Yeah, so now we have checked the flag. If the flag is set, then we are going to clear it. And after that, I'll just use one statement in order to print it. Okay, so this much program, very simple here. Very simple. Important thing is you should know what are the different registers and how to use the timer. Okay, now let us check whether will it work or not. I will just build the code, check for the errors and any warnings. Okay, there is a warning, no problem. Just accept. Yeah, now you can see here it is printing correctly, but I have missed one thing. Now you can observe here every 5 seconds it's going to print. Yeah, you can see that. For every 5 seconds it is printing and it is working fine. So that means what is the important thing here? So important thing here is your timer. So because of timer, it is generating a 5 second delay, and whenever there is a timer expires with a 5 second, it is coming here and it is printing the string whatever you are given. Okay, so I hope this video is an informative video, but if you feel this video is an informative video, please click on like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel and share these videos to your friends and colleagues.